Hey guys, and welcome to today's video where I want to show you 5 types of products that you should avoid selling. Now, this doesn't mean that this is impossible to do, but it's definitely some advice, especially if you're just starting out, 5 categories that you should generally avoid. So the very first of these categories is selling cheap products without having proper upsells. I see a lot of people that sell like $8, $9, $10 items, and they have to spend on marketing over and over again. So they have to spend like $4, $5, $6 whenever they acquire a customer. So they end up with 50 cents, $1 or $2 profit per item, but they don't have any upsells. So they really want to sell this particular product only. And this, of course, is something that is not that useful because you are basically barely profiting at all from a sale, and you're spending the majority on acquiring a customer for a very cheap product, and you should get much more out of it. So either build a very, very useful and very powerful upsell strategy behind this cheap product, or go with something else in the first place. Now, the second type of products you should avoid selling is the exact opposite. Very expensive products that cost hundreds or sometimes even thousands of dollars. I literally know two people who actually messaged me that are selling products for more than $2,000. Now, selling products for more than $2,000, if you barely have any like community, social proof, endorsements, trust, etc., is basically impossible. I mean, I don't know anyone who sold a $2,000 item with a store that is brand new, has maybe 30 Facebook likes, and looks like an average unknown store. So it will almost be impossible that people will actually buy this from you. And even if they do, you will still have a lot of problems. For example, someone who buys a super expensive item may be afraid of not getting it in time. So if you have the average, 1 month or 3 weeks shipping time, they may get very nervous. They may even get afraid of probably just having wasted their money. So it is quite likely that these people will ask for refunds pretty quickly, or that they will just charge back if they wait like 1 or 2 weeks and still didn't receive the product. Now, while this is very common in dropshipping from China, this is of course a huge problem, because you know that the product will most likely need 3 weeks or 4 weeks to arrive. But on the other hand, the customer is getting more and more afraid with every day that is passing. So this can be a huge problem here. Also, the customer will be very, very cautious on everything that may go wrong with the product. So with a $20 product, the customer might not care if something isn't as perfect as he thought it would be. But with a $1,000 or $2,000 product, or even with a $500, $600, $700 product, this will be totally different. With a very high price product, the customer expects everything to be perfect. And if you under-deliver, the customer might come by and say, hey, I thought this product would be good, but it turns out that it's really, really bad, or the quality is bad, or something broke, or something like that. And you either have to make a refund, or you have to send another product. And this can get very expensive if the product itself costs you like $300, $400 already. Now, I know that most of you guys aren't selling these kind of expensive products, but it's just a little remark for you that you should try to avoid this by all means, because there are so many things that can go wrong. If you build a brand around these high-priced items, and we sold $400, $500, $600 items ourselves very successfully, but you definitely have to make sure that you build the buzz around the store, that you have some endorsements, that probably you work with influencers so that people gain the trust to make the decision. But it will be pretty much impossible to do this profitably from pure cold traffic, including all the things that can go wrong after the sale. So the third category of products you should avoid are any kind of consumables, foods, or related stuff. So whenever you have the idea of selling something that people can eat, I would definitely recommend to not do this. So just like 1 week ago, someone asked me about an idea he had. There was some kind of Chinese candy that looked fairly special and also quite interesting. But I told him immediately that as long as he can't like verify it and make sure that it's 100% perfect, then I wouldn't do it, because you're basically ordering from a random supplier in China, and sometimes these aren't even verified or anything like this. And there are so many things that can go wrong by buying something and selling it to people so that they eat it. This can have legal consequences, it can have other problems that you may face. So I would definitely avoid any kind of consumable products and food and stuff like this. maybe if you find a really, really good supplier and you tested the products by yourself, this can be a different story, but especially for beginners, I would recommend to not do this at all. So the fourth type of products that you should avoid selling are fragile and very complex products. Because let's say, for example, you sell some kind of furniture that maybe includes some glass or something like this, and you need to know that this product will be shipped over around the world to your customer. And on this journey, many things can go wrong. So the product can actually break fairly easy. And we, for example, had some products that weren't even that fragile, but even these products had regular problems. So they had cuts at some points, and not all the functions were perfect when they arrived sometimes, and these weren't super fragile products. So if you come up with something that involves like glass or that can easily break, this will be very difficult because you will get a ton of refunds, you will get a ton of chargebacks, and many people will basically be angry because they get a product that isn't 100% on point and isn't 100% working. Same goes for very complex products, where especially electronics, if one tiny thing isn't working well, then many times, in most cases, these people cannot really use the product. So if you come up with something like electronic, like a drone or something, and just one tiny thing is going wrong, you cannot repair it because you don't have the skills, and it's also quite hard to just send it back to China. And it's also like, it's pretty much useless if one tiny thing goes wrong. So if you have an average $50 product, and let's say it's a toy or something, and there's some tiny thing going wrong, well, okay, you can still use it. But with an expensive electronic item, if one thing is broken, typically either the functionality will be very, very bad, or the product won't work at all. And in this case, there isn't much you can do. You cannot really send it back, you cannot repair it yourself, so you have to issue the refund. And this can also get very, very expensive, and will be a very bad thing to do. So I don't recommend doing this at all. And the last and fifth type of products that I don't recommend to sell are everyday products and very normal, standardized, commodity-like products. So when you try to sell like a black phone case with nothing on it, or when you nowadays try to sell a very basic fidget spinner, or something that people can just get at every store, on 1,000 times on Amazon, 1,000 times on eBay, in exactly this look and exactly this product, it's pretty much useless to sell it, because you should focus on products that are kind of special, that are fun, that are interesting, that people get excited about, or that are a little bit different than what you see everywhere. But if you have a very normal, standardized, everyday product, then people don't really have much reasons to buy it from you online. Buy it from a store they don't know, wait a long time to get it, sometimes even pay a fairly high price. So don't try to sell these kind of super easy everyday products, like, I don't know, just plain t-shirts without anything, or the products I just mentioned. There are many products like this if you look around, and from my experience, and also from the experience of many others, these products aren't worth selling. You may get a sale here and there if you offer a very good price, or if someone sees it and thinks, okay, I need this right now and I don't want to go anywhere else. But normally these are the exact products that are that aren't the best products to sell, because you can get it everywhere, and you will have, first of all, so much competition, and second, people just don't get excited about it, and it's nothing where people are willing to pay more or go with some store that they don't know and stuff like that. So this is the fifth type of product that you should avoid selling, from my experience and also my opinion. So yeah, these were the 5 types of products you should avoid selling. If you like this video, please subscribe, leave a comment, leave a like, and you know the good stuff. And I really hope that this was interesting and that this helped you. I plan to record more and upload more videos in the future. I know that in the last weeks and months I didn't do too much stuff, but I was super busy with clients and a new project that I'm planning and stuff like this. I will talk about this in probably a few days already. I think it will be super exciting for you. And yeah, I now try to upload more frequently. I cannot promise anything as my workload is so high, but I think that I will do it more often than the previous month. So stay tuned. Like I said, subscribe, and I hope you liked it.